Are you interested in embroidery and you're looking for a fun beginner project? If you are, this is probably one of the easiest projects you can start with. This little greeting card is embroidered with an easy design, and you can find the tutorial for this on my website. But I took this card design and I enlarged it to make a piece of art to hang on my wall. Today I'm going to show you how to do this easy canvas embroidery. It's a perfect quick project for anybody, and it's even great for kids if you're looking for a fun project to keep them busy. So to make this project, you're going to need just a few things. You're going to need a canvas, and this is just a cheap one that I got at a discount store, and it's already on a nice frame. You're going to need a template, so you can make your own if you want. It's just a circle with regularly spaced dots, but this one is available on my website, and it's the template for making embroidered cards, but I've just enlarged it to be the size that I want. So you can click on the link below to find out how to get this one if you don't want to make your own. Then you'll need some string. So crochet cotton is a really great option for this. You don't need to buy anything expensive, just something nice that you think would be pretty. And I really like the look of variegated thread for this, but you can use whatever thread you want. You're going to need a needle, and just look for a needle that the eye is large enough to accommodate the string. It doesn't have to be super sharp, so even a tapestry needle or a cross stitch needle will work fine for this. You'll need a seam ripper, and this beautiful handmade seam ripper is from Etsy. I have the link below if you want to find out where to find one like this. It's beautiful to work with. And you will need some tape, and that's all we need. So we're going to take the template and lay it on top of the canvas. There's reference marks on this template so that you can center it. And then once you get it in the spot you want, then just put a couple pieces of tape to hold it in place. And then once it's in place, we're on each one of these dots, we're just going to poke a hole right in the canvas. So the easiest way is just use your seam ripper. And poke just straight up and down. So once you've gone around all the holes, just take a minute and hold it up to a light, and then you'll clearly be able to see if you missed any of the holes. You should be able to see light coming through all of them. Once you're done, you can remove the template, and there you can see all the holes are marked into the circle. So now we're ready to begin stitching. So we're going to need a long piece of thread for this, much longer than we would normally use for embroidery. And that will just reduce the number of times we have to stop and start. Just be really careful as you're stitching to try and avoid tangles in the thread. So we will thread our needle and then pick a spot anywhere in the circle, it doesn't matter where, and then bring the thread up through the hole on the canvas. And then as you're starting to get close to the end, watch out for that. And then we're just going to tape down the end of the thread. And we don't need to worry about knots or anything. The tape will hold it fine. Now we're just going to look for another spot across the circle. And this can be anywhere, it doesn't matter. But as a rule of thumb, the farther away you go from your original spot, the more closed your circle will be, and the closer you are, the more open your circle would be. So there's no rule about it. I usually look for something about a quarter of the way across. So I'm going to just pick this one, and I take my needle down through there. And if you get a little knot in the thread, just don't pull it, gently loosen it up. So there's our first stitch. We've just gone across a circle. So now just imagine this direction. We're going to keep working this direction. So we went in this hole, we're going to come out in that one, the next one in the circle. And now we're going to go back to the one after this one. And just keep moving back and forth each time, stepping one hole away. And then when you get to the point where your stitches are going to overlap, you just keep reusing the same hole. So each hole will have 2 stitches in it. When you get to the end of your thread, just trim it and tape the end down, and then start another thread in the same way. And when you get back to where you started and each hole has 2 stitches coming out of it, then you're done. Just trim the thread and tape it off. And you can see that there's no big long stitches at the back. Each stitch is just a short one going from one space to the space right beside it. So if you're getting confused and you can't remember which way to go, that's something to keep in mind, is on the back, look and see, do I have big long stitches going across on the back, or am I just going one step in the same direction? If you're having trouble with the thread getting tangled, just use shorter pieces of thread and change more frequently. That's not a problem. I hope that you enjoy this and you have a beautiful piece of art that you can hang up in your home. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out my website, evitastudio.com, for more fun beginner embroidery projects.